The days that followed were some of the happiest Daniel could remember. Walking across campus with Sophia felt like walking in sunlight. She had a way of making even the simplest things feel magical. A cup of coffee after a long lecture, a walk through the crowded city streets, a shared laugh over a book. Quote, Yet beneath the happiness, Daniel carried a quiet fear, a whisper that reminded him of the difference between their worlds. He had grown up in a modest neighborhood where his mother worked 2 jobs and his father managed a small repair shop. His scholarships paid for his education, and every expense was carefully managed. Sophia, by contrast, lived in a grand house on the hill, where dinners were served by staff and luxury was taken for granted. Daniel worried that one day those differences would catch up to them. Sophia, however, seemed determined to close the gap. She invited him into her world without hesitation. One evening she brought him to a gathering at her home. The mansion glowed with golden lights, music drifted across the wide halls, and guests mingled in elegant attire. Daniel felt out of place in his simple suit, but Sophia stayed by his side, introducing him proudly to everyone she met. Some greeted him warmly, but others offered only polite nods, their eyes betraying judgment. Daniel tried to ignore it, but it weighed on him. Later, when they escaped to the quiet of the garden, he sighed. I don't belong here, Sophia. She looked at him with steady eyes. You belong wherever I am. Don't let them make you think otherwise. Her words comforted him. But deep down, Daniel wondered if love alone could withstand the walls society built. Despite the doubts, their bond grew stronger. They studied together late into the night, their laughter echoing softly in the silent library. They shared secrets, dreams, and fears. Sophia confessed that she wanted more than a life of comfort. She wanted to make a difference, to use her privilege for something meaningful. Daniel told her of his dream to become a writer, to capture the beauty and struggles of life in words that could touch hearts. Sophia encouraged him, pushing him to share his poems, his stories, his voice. With her, Daniel felt braver, as if he could reach beyond the limits he had set for himself. But challenges were never far. Sophia's father, William Williams, was a man of power and influence. He adored his daughter, but had high expectations for her future. When he first heard about Daniel, he remained silent, observing. But silence carried its own weight. At a family dinner one evening, he finally addressed it. Sophia, he said firmly, I hear you've been spending a great deal of time with this boy. Who is he? Sophia lifted her chin. His name is Daniel Carter. He's smart, kind, and hardworking. Her father's brows furrowed. Does he come from a family like ours? The question hung in the air like a blade. Sophia's mother shifted uncomfortably, while Daniel, sitting across the table, felt his heart pound. Sophia's voice didn't waver. He comes from a good family, a decent family. That's all that matters to me. Her father's lips pressed into a thin line, but he said nothing more that evening. Yet Daniel knew the conversation had only begun. After dinner, as Sophia walked him to the gate, he muttered, Your father doesn't approve of me. She squeezed his hand tightly. Then I'll make him see who you are. Don't give up on us, Daniel. Her determination gave him strength. But he couldn't shake the fear that one day her father's disapproval might become an immovable wall. As the semester went on, their love deepened in ways that neither could have predicted. Daniel discovered the joy of having someone believe in him unconditionally, and Sophia found comfort in the simplicity of his world, where love wasn't measured by wealth, but by presence. They built memories together, long walks under the city lights, rainy afternoons spent in coffee shops, whispered promises under the stars. Yet, with every beautiful moment came the looming shadow of the future. They were still students, still young, and the world beyond university was waiting with its demands and expectations. One evening, Sophia surprised Daniel by showing up at his small apartment near campus. It was nothing like her home, just 2 rooms, modestly furnished, with books stacked on every surface. She looked around with genuine curiosity, touching the spines of his worn novels. smiling at the scribbled notes pinned to the wall. "This place is so you," she said softly. Daniel chuckled nervously. "It's not much." Sophia turned to him, her eyes tender. "It's everything. It tells me who you are." She cooked with him that night, laughing as they struggled with the tiny stove, and when they sat down to eat, she said quietly, "Daniel, I don't care about mansions or cars. I care about moments like this, about us." His chest ached with love for her, but also with the fear of losing her to a world he couldn't match. Their relationship reached a turning point when Sophia's father invited Daniel to his office. The tall glass building loomed over the city, and Daniel entered with a mix of dread and resolve. William Williams sat behind a massive desk, his presence commanding. He studied Daniel with sharp eyes before speaking. "I admire your ambition, Daniel, but let's be honest, you and Sophia come from different worlds. Love is beautiful, but it doesn't pay bills. It doesn't build futures. I want my daughter to have stability, to marry someone who can match her in status." Daniel listened quietly, his hands clenched in his lap. When William finished, Daniel spoke slowly. "Sir, I may not have wealth, but I have dreams, and I will work for them. I love your daughter, not for what she has, but for who she is. I promise you, I'll never let her down." William leaned back, his expression unreadable. "We'll see." Daniel left the office with a heavy heart. He knew winning Sophia's father's approval would not be easy. Yet, when Sophia met him outside, her smile, her unwavering faith, melted away his doubts. She cupped his face in her hands and whispered, "We'll fight this together." Love isn't about where we come from. It's about where we go in that moment. Daniel believed her, and for the first time, he felt that maybe their love was strong enough to defy the odds.